Welcome to Menopause Moguls podcast, the Elevation Talk series, with yours truly, Dr. Joyelle. I am Dr. Joyelle, the Menopause Mogul, board certified OBGYN and business coach for Black women 40 and over. And my mission is to educate, embolden, and empower Black women and other women of color in their journey through health and careers. This is a space for Black women and other women of color to share their compelling trials and tribulations in their health and or in their careers and businesses. This is where we recognize the humanity of Black women and show how Black women continue to elevate despite midlife challenges and changes. Hey, welcome back to another episode of Menopause Moguls with yours truly, Dr. Joyelle. I am here to talk to you all about mindset over menopause. Those of you who are new to the podcast, new to my YouTube channel, welcome. Those of you who are returning, welcome back. Thank you for returning. And those of you who are new, thanks for joining us. I am Dr. Joyelle, the Menopause Mogul, your menopause and midlife wellness strategist and business coach, specifically for women of color, Black women, 40 and over, who want to start a service business. I just came back from from DC. I attended a Capitol Hill briefing on menopause and midlife women's health. And it was a great luncheon talking about, they had panelists who were talking about more so kind of the basics of what menopause looks like as far as the symptoms, and then also talking about the research that is coming down the pike or the research that is currently being done. But I wanted to talk about mindset over menopause, because I don't think we talk about that enough. When you think about, that phrase, mind over matter. And when you look up that phrase, it would say a simple expression that describes our ability to use our minds to self-regulate in the moment when situations, conditions, or events seem out of our control. Now, when we reach perimenopause and menopause, a lot of us can feel like things are out of control. And when I talk to women, when I talk to my clients, I let them know, I can give you all the tips, all the tips, all the hacks, when it comes to managing your menopause symptoms. But if you don't change your mind, if you don't change your mind about your aging body, if you don't change your mind about what perimenopause or menopause means to you, if you don't change your mind about your symptoms, those tips and hacks are not going to work. Period. They're not going to work. So I wanted to talk about this because I was working with a client, Black woman over 50, perimenopausal, corporate executive who was having hot flashes, a little bit of hair thinning, and some weight gain, particularly around the midsection, right? We all know that very well. Many of us, I certainly do. That very stubborn belly fat that just came out of nowhere, and you're like, what the hell? What can we do about this? She also had a history of high blood pressure, so her primary care doctor actually switched her blood pressure medication to potentially help her hot flashes, because there's a blood pressure medication out there called clonidine that also has been shown to help with hot flashes. For those of you with high blood pressure, that may be an option for you, just so you know. But obviously, talk to your doctor about that to see if it's a good option for you. But basically, she was switched to this medication to address that, but was still frustrated because the hot flashes were really not going away, not really lessening. And she was doing all the things that she was supposed to be doing when it comes to her eating habits and exercise. And the belly fat was just stubborn, right? Just not doing anything. And So, I talked with her and we talked about things that she can particularly tweak when it comes to her, what she was eating, her exercise. But I also talked to her about the importance of her mindset in this journey because I don't think we really pay attention to how much our mind influences how we manage and navigate our menopausal transition. So, talking about her mindset, about her changing body, right? And really giving herself the grace and the compassion as she is trying to tweak and do these things that would potentially help lessen her symptoms and, obviously make her um, feel better, right? Feel better in her skin and just feel more comfortable in her body. So having more compassion, giving herself more grace as she is adjusting. So, we talked about that and basically planned to have a follow up. So we had a follow up and her hot flashes had improved, but the weight was still, still there, but she hadn't gained weight, which is always a good thing, right? When we have this, stubborn belly fat, we're like, ugh. Um, and it doesn't go away as fast as we would like it, right? But it's a good thing that we, at the same time, haven't gained weight, in this process. Some of us do, but some of us don't. So she was optimistic that she was moving in the right direction. Um, but I also, because of her optimism and because of her now changing um, her position when it comes to her thinking about her body and what it actually is doing in this season of her life. When she changed about how she wanted to actually um, show up when she, went to exercise, when she went to her workplace. She was really being intentional. She started being more intentional about honoring what her body needed and also being patient with the process, right? Um, so when we are navigating these, these physical changes, we really have to be mindful. We really have to think about or pay attention to what our mind is telling us because if we are experiencing these, changes in our bodies that comes with aging as well as with perimenopause and menopause, and if we have the mindset of, oh my gosh, I am, you know, all the negative self-talk, right? Like, now I got this weight on, I can't lose it. I'm never going to lose it. These symptoms are, controlling my life and I can't do anything. So really just taking a step back when we find ourselves talking to ourselves like that and changing that story, right? Changing our mind of what this all means. Because we also go into the transition with a certain thought about what menopause means, right? A lot of us think, oh my gosh, I'm in menopause or I'm perimenopausal, I'm old. And then you think about all the things you haven't done yet. Like, it just goes into this vicious cycle. We beat ourselves up, we're judging ourselves, and that just adds to the intensity of our menopausal symptoms, the inability to to not lose weight because of the inability to lose weight because we are like in that cycle of beating ourselves up, getting frustrated, judging ourselves in the process instead of actually coming to a place where we are giving ourselves more grace, more compassion, and realizing what our bodies is trying to do. It's basically adjusting to a new season of life. And we really have to give her space and time to adjust. And do that in a way that we are not judging ourselves, do that in the way that we are not beating ourselves up, um, and adding to the negative energy, right? Because all of that negative self-talk, that judgment, that beating ourselves up, all of that, I call it just negative energy that you're just feeding in to your system and to your, way of being. And when you do that, that actually can intensify your symptoms. That actually impacts how you um can show up, whether it's in your workplace or in your household, like because you're just so irritated because of that negative energy. So if we take a step back and um, change our mind about what all this means, these changes, this menopause, this perimenopause, what does all this means, and really give ourselves grace about that and the compassion and the self love that we need, that is when you are able to be able to eventually lessen and sometimes eliminate our symptoms, and be more accepting of where you are in this journey, and know that a lot of this is temporary. It does not last forever, even though sometimes it may feel like it's lasting forever, right? But I promise you, it won't last forever. Now, don't quote me on what that means as far as numbers, right? I'm not going to say like, oh, it'll be over in 2 years. Oh, it'll be over in 2 months. Like, no, sometimes temporary can be more than 5 years. And I know that sounds bad, right? But if we have a different mindset about this whole journey, if we change our minds about what this all means and really tap into, okay, now my body is going through this adjustment. What does she need right now? What do I need right now? What do I want? The whole menopausal transition experience, the whole menopause experience changes, and you have a different outlook, you have a positive outlook, and then you're able to continue to do more things that you want to do. You're able to take those steps that you want to take, bold steps like building a business, do all the things that you want because you have a more positive and accepting uh uh concept or perception of what your body is going through physically. So, when you're navigating the menopausal transition, it really requires you to change your mind, change your mind about menopause, change your mind about you. Let's talk about that for a second. When you think about, oh my gosh, I'm older, I'm getting old. For example, I just turned 49. And I could be like, I know a lot of women who've come to me like, "Oh my gosh, I'm 49, I'm about to turn 50, it's over." Like this whole doom and gloom. And I have to say, it's a lot of it's not our fault because culturally, the society has really groomed us to believe that, "Oh my gosh, girl, when you reach this age, it's all downhill from that." And a lot of us say that, like, "Girl, once you reach 40, it's all downhill from that." Let's stop saying that. Let's stop saying that. Let's stop putting that in the universe. Because when we do that, that just puts this cloud over us. And then when we reach that point, we're like, oh shit, we're about to it's I gotta do something before, or what am I gonna do? Like, or it's too late. So let's stop doing that. Let's change our mind about who we're supposed to be at this age, whether it's 40, 45, 49, 50, 55. Let's change our mind about who we're supposed to be at that point and really give ourselves space to envision who we're supposed to be, right? Who we are becoming, who we were created to be, right? And focus on that. And even when you are all of that is going on and you're trying to build a business, navigating the roller coaster ride of starting a business in these midlife streets also requires you to change your mind. Change your mind about your value and what you bring to the table, what you're offering when it comes to your business. Because again, you have these symptoms that are going on. And then like one of my clients, she has these symptoms going, she had menopause, hot flashes, she had brain fog, she had irritability. And in her mind, because of all of that, she did not she didn't feel like she can bring a lot of value because of these symptoms was just bogging her down, making her feel like she didn't really have any control over it. And, she didn't really her business wouldn't offer what she really wanted to offer because of these symptoms. But she really had to change her mind about that, right? She really had to change her mind about her value, change her mind about the value her business will bring. Um, because also a lot of times we discount, like, oh my gosh, I'm this age and now I'm menopausal or perimenopausal and I can't do this and I can't do that. Like, no, you actually are this age and you've come to this point and accomplished all of these things. You have so much value by what you know, by what you've already experienced, by what you've learned. So if you change your mind about what you actually, the value you actually bring and the value your business can bring to the world, you would be able to build that business, even in the midst of your menopausal symptoms. Also, when we're building businesses and doing big things, we also need to change our mind about time. Because a lot of times we also get to a point, I'm a mom, I got, 3 kids, a husband, and we can be working our 9 to 5, and we're like, I don't have time. I don't have time to do this. I don't have time to build this business. I don't have time. I don't have time. Like, no, time is um is neutral. We actually can create the time that we need. I'm gonna do a separate episode about that. I'm gonna do a separate episode about that. But we can actually create the time that we need instead of looking at time like, oh my gosh, I'm running out of time. Like, no, you're not. You're not running out of time. You basically have to prioritize things so that you create the time that you need to build your business, to do the things that you are being called to do. Okay. So changing our minds about our symptoms. Again, one of my all of my clients feel like their symptoms are hindering from them working in their business. They can't do it. And it's really not the symptoms, it's actually the feeling that's coming with those symptoms. And I've said this before when I'm working with my clients in Menopause Moguls, we don't really talk about the symptoms per se. We talk about the feelings that those symptoms are actually creating because that's what we need to get to the root of. What are the feelings? You're having those hot flashes. You're feeling embarrassed. You having this brain fog. You feeling inadequate. Like what are those feelings? Because when we think about that, we have to then ask ourselves questions. Okay, why am I feeling this way? What do I need to do to change the feeling that actually comes along with this hot flash? Now, I can't change the feeling of being hot. I'm sorry. Like, that you're gonna be hot. You're gonna feel hot, right? But change the feeling that, okay, I'm hot. Perfect example, I walked 6 blocks, y'all, to this meeting, this Capitol Hill lunch briefing today. Y'all, I got to my destination and I was a hot mess, like sweat. I was hot, right? I was hot, face red. And the old me would have been like, oh my gosh, I look a mess. This is crazy. And I was not that. I walked in and the security guard was like, I was like, woo, AC. He was like, "Oh, you good?" I'm like, "I'm good. I'm good now. I'm in the AC." But I wasn't embarrassed. I was just like, it is what it is. This is what it is. So I just kindly asked for where's the restroom so I can go pat myself down. He's like, it's down the hall. I'm like, all right, cool. So I went to the restroom and patted myself down, pat the sweat off, patted some beads of sweat across my whole damn face. Put my heels on because luckily I wore my flats. Walking 6 blocks, god damn it. But put my heels on and walked to the meeting. It was like, okay, now I need water because I am hella thirsty. So they had ice, which was awesome. Fixed my cup of ice, got my bottle of water, and sat in my chair and made it just in time for this meeting. But yeah, I mean, just thinking about that, we really have to change our mindset about what our bodies are going through when we are, navigating through this menopausal transition. And that's what I coach my clients on in Menopause Moguls, my group coaching program, changing their minds, really involves them changing the relationship that they have with themselves. And you have to think about the relationship that you have with yourself, how that relationship has been, created over these years. And now you get to this point where you don't even recognize yourself. That means you have to create a new relationship with yourself, right? To figure out who she is. Like, let me get to know her again because I'm not really sure what's happening. Get to know her, actually know her, what's happening, know her needs, know her wants, and then do things that she wants to do. So changing I coach my clients on changing the relationship that they have with themselves, changing the relationship that they have with their bodies. Um, Actually had a client who before she started work with me, she never wore sleeveless shirts because she really didn't feel comfortable. Like she felt like her arms were just too chubby and she just didn't feel like, she didn't feel, let's just say she didn't really feel confident in wearing her sleeveless shirts. And I remember at the end of the program, we had like kind of, a closing out session and she had a sleeveless shirt on. And she was like, "Yes, I got my sleeveless shirt on. I had not worn one of these in I don't know how long." And just felt confident and comfortable in her skin. And I just thought that was amazing. So actually changing the relationship that you have with your body in this stage of life just makes a world of difference when it comes to your confidence and ability to do big and bold things like build a business. So when you are thinking about building the business, we really have to think about building a type of foundation, right? So that type of foundation where you actually knowing, liking, and trusting yourself. Because when you do that, actually, get to know yourself in this season of your life. You like you, love you, despite all the flaws, despite that stubborn belly fat. For now, like I said, don't doesn't have to be there forever. But for now, I'm good. We're gonna work on it, but I'm good. I'm still liking myself. I'm not judging myself. I'm not beating myself up. And then also trusting myself in this whole journey, in your whole journey, so you can take both steps, like building a business. So I am putting on a free masterclass, and it is called Menopause to Mogul Masterclass, Harnessing Your Energy for Business Success. I am super excited about it. And it's going to be Wednesday, August 28th. I would love for you to join me. You will learn how to master your mindset when it comes to perimenopause, menopause, and beyond. And you master that mindset by knowing, liking, and trusting yourself to push through the self doubt, to push through the perfectionism, to push through procrastination. You're also going to learn the mindset shifts that cultivate the confidence. You're going to learn how to manage menopausal symptoms for your optimal well-being. Because again, if you are not well mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, it really negatively impacts how you show up when you're trying to start and then launch a business. So learning the strategy in regards to managing that. Also learn the strategies for creating energy, right? Sustaining energy levels so you can launch a business when you are a busy mom, when you are a busy corporate executive, you're 9 to 5, you're still able to create and sustain energy levels so that you can build the business that you've been thinking about. So if that sound like something that you are interested in, sign up Wednesday, August 28th. I'm also offering VIP coaching, y'all. VIP coaching just for $49, y'all. And that is a steal. Okay. $49. Um, that's going to happen the day after Thursday, August 29th. And you basically get personalized coaching in a group setting on your specific challenges when it comes to whether it's your symptoms or midlife circumstances, whether it's you are trying to navigate mothering, caregiving, or you're dealing with self-doubt, perfectionism, procrastination, any of those things. And the VIP coach, we're able to basically out coach you on how to tackle those specific challenges, and you walk away with a strategy to confront those challenges, and then also start building your business. So please, if that sounds like you're like, sign me up, click the link. That should be in the show notes. If you're here watching on YouTube, there should be a website link there for you to join me, y'all. I would love to have you on my Menopause to Mogul Masterclass, harnessing your energy for business success. So that's what I have for you all today. Thank you. Thank you for watching. If this sounds like something that, again, somebody needs to hear, please share this. If you are listening on the Apple Podcast, please write a 5-star review and also a review so more people can watch it. If you're here watching on YouTube, please give me a like, write a comment, and let me know what you think. Also, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. So more people can actually see this channel. I appreciate y'all. I hope that was helpful. I know that was helpful because, again, like I said, we don't talk about it enough. We talk about, all the options when it comes to our menopausal symptoms, like they did in this lunch briefing, their medications, supplements. Well, for me, and what I've learned from my own journey, as well as working with my clients, mindset really makes a world of difference when we're trying to navigate this menopausal transition. If we, take into account mindset over menopause, you should be able to cultivate a thriving menopause experience as you are going through this journey. So again, join me on my Menopausal Mogul Masterclass. Until next time, y'all, I'll talk to y'all later. And again, sending love and light as always. Take care, y'all.